Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. You check off whichever one applies. I'm Taylor, your casual crypt keeper, and I got something for you today. It has been an amazing year for horror movies so far. We've had Skinamarink, we've had Evil Dead Rise, and things are only getting better. In just a few weeks, we are gonna get Insidious, The Red Door, which is gonna bring the whole series together and seal away that red-faced demon once and for all. Everybody here at Top 5 Scary are big old fans of James Wan, me in particular. So we've been watching the trailer over and over and over again to try and soak up every little detail we can before the movie comes out. So come with us as we go through some of the creepy and crazy details you might have missed in the trailer as we get hyped. This is the top 5 things in the Insidious trailer you might have missed. Let me know down below, do you have a favorite movie from James Wan? A Saw, a Conjuring, Aquaman, really whatever it is, let me know down below. I love talking horror movies. Number 5, Full Circle. Since the release of the first Insidious film in 2010, the franchise has blown up into another mega hit. Between Saw, The Conjuring, Insidious, James Wan seems determined to own more wildly successful horror movie franchises than any other director, living or dead. And if there's any justice, they'll make 5 more Malignant movies as well. I love Malignant. Now, while the first 2 movies focused on the Lambert family, the next 2 dove deep into the lore of the series as a whole, exploring the backstory of Josh, his haunting by the Black Bride, and Elise, the paranormal investigator in the first one. We've seen the story grow so much further than that Lambert family. Further, like the further in the, you guys get it, it's a pun. Well, at this final installment, we're closing the door and bringing everything full circle, so it makes sense that this trailer is full of details tying it back to the original movie, showcasing how far they've come and where they're going back to. One of the first shots of the trailer is a metronome, which is the grounding device that Elise used in the first movie in her hypnosis on Josh Lambert. We see another shot of a metronome app on someone's phone next to a bed. It's a little modernization, I guess. And this could be referencing Insidious 2 when Dalton was shown to astrally project in his sleep. Now, at the end of Insidious 2, maybe you don't remember, it was a long time ago, both Josh and Dalton were hypnotized in a way so that they would forget all of the trauma of 2010 in the first film and hopefully go on to live normal lives. Well, unfortunately for the 2 of them, there was still money to be made out of this franchise, so they are returning for some more trouble. Now, presumably if their memory could be easily hypnotized away, then it couldn't be too difficult to unhypnotize somebody, right? You know, maybe just make the watch go backwards. We know we're gonna have to go into the further once again in this movie, but these metronomes in the opening could be referencing the Lamberts' dormant abilities being woken up subliminally. Maybe something or someone is causing their powers to reemerge yet again. We'll find out soon enough. And if you're looking for way more stuff on horror movies, Top 5 Scary has all of that and then some. Click on through, hit subscribe, and make sure you hit that little bell so you get every single video that we put out, and we have quite a lot for you to enjoy. But do to the end of this video, okay? Because I got a few more points about this Insidious trailer that I would just love to get into. And if you want to see us talk more about horror movies, let us know. I literally could do that all day and then some. Separation. Sure. Josh and Renai Lambert might not be as much of a horror power couple as, say, Ed and Lorraine Warren or Jason and Freddy, but Josh and Renai's relationship literally kept the family together, you know? But it's been 10 years since the last time we've seen the family, and things haven't been so smooth. A huge shout out to YouTuber CZ's World, who helped a ton with this video. Incidentally, they had a lot of great ideas and thoughts about the Insidious trailer and the franchise, who suggests that in this trailer, Josh and Renai have separated. In the trailer, we can see Josh flipping photos of his family around while being taunted by what appears to be ghosts having nightmarish visions again. We see him waking up in a cold sweat, clearly having risen from a nightmare. But in these shots of Josh in his new home, he seems noticeably alone. The bedroom seems small, and the frame of the camera seems to cut off from showing that there's no one beside him in the bed. Is it possible that in the last decade, things have gotten just too intense and Renai has left? There are several framed photos of Renai all over the house, which is a nice gesture. I'm sure she appreciates it. But to me, it seems like that classic movie trope of the divorced dad who can't move on and has reminders of his old life all over. Renai tells him that he should drive Dalton to college as a way to reconnect, which does make it seem like since we've last seen the Lamberts, tension are driving them all apart in all ways. Has Josh been living on his own since the events of Insidious 2? Is that why he's being plagued again? Because when he's by himself, he just can't deal with the supernatural struggles? Number 3, the funeral. One of the big shots of the trailer is a funeral, seeming like a happy family reunion. not. Of course, it's the Lambert family, so it's not a happy reunion. We can see pretty obviously that it's not one of the main family members in the coffin, and since the movie is a decade after the last time we've seen them, it's unlikely that they're holding a funeral for the paranormal investigator Elise now. So is it possible that the funeral is the paranormal investigators? Those are some other side characters in these movies. It could be, although they're not particularly big characters. I don't know why the family would be that upset about that. A likely possibility is that this could be Lorraine, Josh Lambert's mother, as the timing might make sense and she was involved in the original film. And this could be an event that pulls them back into uncovering the events of the original movie as they've had their memories erased. Of course, as well, it could be an entirely new character altogether to bring the family together. I'd say without a doubt, this is going to be related to demonology somehow. Maybe that's a bold claim, but I don't think you can show a funeral in a horror movie trailer without expecting it to relate to demons somehow, right? I'm guessing this will be what pulls the family out of retirement. Someone dies in a horrific way, it kickstarts Josh and Dalton's memories, and they all get into it again. Of course, it could also just be a total misdirect, just a shot thrown in there randomly to mislead us. Wouldn't be surprised if that was the case either. Number 2, Dalton's art. In the years since his traumatic experience playing host to some demonic forces, Dalton has found himself an outlet in the arts, which makes sense. He loved drawing, and his childhood drawings of the other world in the first movie are partly what kickstarted his parents into believing that there was something insidious going down. See what I did there? Dalton is going off to university to pursue a degree in art, which is more horrifying than any demon could be. A liberal arts degree, Dalton, in this economy, good luck with that. In the trailer, his teacher is speaking rather obviously about contrasting light and dark. Now, this is expositional dialogue, but it's a very apparent allusion to the other world, the further, which has been referred to before as the dark. His teacher telling him to dive deep into his past to explore his memories is good advice if you haven't been possessed by demons, but if you have, terrible advice. Dalton has a unique perspective here, having been host to it before, and as such has this internal balance of light and darkness that he's not even aware about, although it definitely seems like it's affecting his art subconsciously. We see him drawing the titular red door on a canvas. And it's true, all great successful artists have tortured histories. Van Gogh struggled with poverty and rejection. René Magritte watched his mother's body being carried away. Dalton Lambert was possessed by a demon. Anything that looks good on a plaque in the artist's statement hanging in the gallery. Now here's a great catch that fans noticed in the original film. Some of Dalton's crayon drawings were of a red door. Whoa, how did they do that? How did they do that? How'd they set that up? That's crazy. We also interestingly see him painting a red door and a man with a hammer standing in front of it, possibly referencing a hazy memory of when his father attempted to strike him down in the second movie. Probably not upset that he's blocked that one out. At number 1, our final point, the return of the red-faced demon. Now, the mysterious lipstick-clad red-faced demon was the antagonist of the original Conjuring film, and all things considered, he didn't even have that much screen time in the original movie, but he captivated our imaginations and also terrified us downright silly. The few times he appears are the most iconic parts of the movie, with that one shot of his Darth Maul looking face behind Josh being pretty much the defining shot of the series. So is it any surprise that for this film, which is intended to wrap up the franchise and also complete the storyline of the first movie, that our red-faced demon would be returning? In the trailer, we can see Dalton getting grabbed by a black-gloved hand and then immediately reeling away with a fresh wound that dries immediately. Now, an eagle-eyed Insidious fan might recognize that's the same thing that happened to paranormal investigator Elise when she was investigating the Black Bride hunting the young Josh Lambert. In the trailer as well, we can see a red handprint appearing on Josh's bed, a fairly apparent callback to the original film where Renai discovered a similar red smear handprint on the comatose Dalton's bed. Is that the red-faced demon's little signature? He just wipes his hand across his face and smacks it on your white blanket. One final connection to the original movie is when Dalton is being seen pulled away by a chain off screen, wrapping its way around his ankle. In the first movie, when Josh ventured into the further to save Dalton, Dalton was being bound in a similar way with a similar chain. So it definitely seems like the red-faced demon is coming back for its favorite host. We have so many questions about the red-faced demon, and we have so few answers. Does it have a particular connection with Dalton that's really stronger than others? Is it just like tormenting this family? Will we delve deeper into the demon's history and learn more about why it does what it does? Or will we get any answers to any of that at all? Who knows? But I can't wait to find out. That's all she wrote for this one, my ghouls and goblins, and I'll see you in the theater when Insidious: The Red Door drops.